The swastika is an auspicious sign in many religions. Specifically, if I talk about India, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, they have their own interpretation of swastika. But it is reviled in the West. It is hated and banned in Germany. It remains a potent signal for the far-right groups as well as white supremacist groups. What is swastika and how was it hijacked by the evil Adolf Hitler? How did it become the hijacked and defiled version as Hakenkreuz? We are going to discuss all that. From the perspective of GS Mains paper first and second, it is important that you understand it. Also, do not worry about notes. It is provided through my Telegram channel, Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries, you can talk to me on my Instagram and follow me on my threads. As it is an anti-Semitic sign, that means anti-Jewish sign, recently certain chain of events have thrown us out. Also, it has been signaled by many far-right groups in Germany, far-right parties in Germany, that they have been using this particular signature, the Hakenkreuz, defiled version of swastika. There is a difference between swastika and the Hakenkreuz. And how did it all begin? Why did it become the chosen symbol for Nazism? Let's talk about it. Swastika basically comes from the Sanskrit word Swasti. That means good luck. It is basically a cross with each leg bent at a 90-degree angle. Many cultures believe that it is also showing the infinity of creation and the unconquered, also the revolving sun. If we have to begin from the very beginning, we will go to the ancient city of Troy, which is actually, it was the obsession of German antiquarian Heinrich Schliemann. He was obsessed with the city of Troy. He thought that Hisar Lake is the ancient city of Troy. And when he started the excavation process, he saw the proliferation of the symbols swastika. This swastika was not only present in the city of Troy, the excavation process, but we see it in many other regions, such as this is a cathedral in Spain. This is a house in Ethiopia. We see swastika over here as well. Then the Carlsberg factory before the World War II, Carlsberg factory symbol also had swastika, and many other regions. So there was kind of a correlation that was developed between swastika and the proliferation of it, along with the proliferation of the master race. This was seen as a religious symbol, that there was one master race. The master race was the Aryan race. And because of the proliferation, the spreading of the Aryan race, the swastika also spread in many regions. So it was used by many European countries back then, before World War II. And the master race concept was important for Nazi Germany to develop. Why? In order to ensure superiority, there has to be an ancient relation to a race, which was the Aryan race according to them. And keeping that in mind, they had to subdue the other races. In the case of Germany, it was the Jews and others as well. Moving on. So, as we see, in 1920, this poisonous idea was actually so much, so far spread in Germany back then that swastika was used as a symbol for oppression for the Jewish Holocaust. For the Nazi party, it became a symbol in 1920 as a national flag. It started emanating in 1935. This was the short story. I will tell you the long story as well. First, we go to the origin. The oldest swastika that we know of as a symbol, almost it is 15,000 years ago. It was actually discovered in Ukraine in 1908 when an ivory mammoth tusk, which is carved into the shape of a bird, it had multiple swastikas. Basically, it was believed that this is a sign of fertility. Even in Eastern Europe, Vinca culture during the Neolithic period used to use the symbol swastika. For the Illyrians, it symbolized the sun. It was also seen in Mesopotamian coins and appeared on vase and clothing in Greece. In Germany, it appeared in 6th century pottery. Then there are 27 swastikas on the Iron Age Battersea shield, which was found in London in 1857. Before that also, we used to notice that there was swastika in Britain as well. And the most important usage of swastika can be seen in Asia, specifically in India. To Jains, the swastika represent one of the 24 Tirthankaras. For the Buddhists, it is as the footprints of the Buddha. For Hindus, the left one is the left-handed version of swastika. is symbolic of the night, the goddess Kali. For right-handed version, it is the Surya and it is a sign of auspiciousness. And you know how does swastika look? It is like this and there are 4 dots, right? Haken Cruise is tilted. It has no dots. Moving on. Now P2I batches are being launched from 17th November, 15th November and 10th November depending on the batch you want to take. For English it is 17th November, for English it is 15th November, for Hindi it is 10th November. Whichever batch you might want to enroll in, you can do that using the code PDLive. P2I batches are really good for those students who do not have a proper strategy and they want discipline. So we are not only going to provide you live classes for GS, CSAT, ethics, essay and everything else, but also prelims, test series, mains, test series, daily answer writing practice. You just have to use the code PDLive to get it at a low discount of 26,999. Alright, moving on. Now, there was another person who was working with Schliemann, and this was Emile Louis Bernoff. This person was aware of that there is a Hindu text by the name of Rig Veda, and also there was awareness that in India Rig Veda has been used and there is a correlation with Aryan culture and India. So they started wondering, what if the Aryans actually went from Germany and conquered India and started colonizing the region? So this correlation between the usage of swastika not only in European region but also Indian region and Rig Veda, which is a book of the Aryan culture, started getting established. And hence the concept of master race, that there was a master race of the white-skinned warriors. It constituted the peak of human civilization. That means when they conquered regions, civilization started occurring. There was also similarities between Sanskrit and German according to scholars when they started reading both these texts simultaneously. Then there was one fault, because in Sanskrit, the Sanskrit word Aryan, Arya, actually means honorable, respectable or noble. And this means for a group of people who are social or linguistically different. They are socially distinct and linguistically distinct, but not a separate ethnic group. That wasn't a separate ethnic group. The German nationalists thought that this was a separate ethnic group, hence a superior white group, white-skinned group. Those people were responsible for the most important civilization to take place. This was their belief system. And Hitler, of course, understood that if he has to encapsulate the population of Nazi Germany, the population of Germany, he has to give them a cause to subdue the Jews. And that was the cause was, of course, that Aryan race is superior race. Aryans went from Germany to other regions and conquered and civilized those regions. And this is why he chose swastika, because it was proliferated. It was found out that in Rig Veda as well, in German text as well, there was a lot of similarity. So this became an imagination for Hitler, and hence he used this power of image. The Nazi ideals were given a historic foundation. What is the legitimacy of your cause has to have a background. I had to have a background back then, and that is why a cause was given, that you are a superior race, and that is why you need to be revered by the inferior race. For them it were the Jews and others as well. So their belief system was Germans descended from a white master race and with a tried and tested symbol, that is the swastika. Moving on, it became the important Nazi symbol, the defiled and evil symbol Hakenkreuz, or the hooked cross. It's different from swastika. And in his own book, Hitler says that I myself designed this flag by using the Imperial Germany colors red, white and black. Red for them is now social idea of the movement, white is nationalist, and swastika is of course in harsh black. Swastika shows them that this is your cause, you're superior than the other races, and the Germans have to be a pure race, a purebred race. On 15 September 1935, this became a national flag, and hence 2 race laws were also passed which prohibited marriages between Germans and Jews in order to keep the Germans pure raced, and declared that only those of German blood could be the citizens of the Reich. That was also another issue, and that is why right now swastika is really misunderstood and misinterpreted, even though it had been occurring in different European regions since the very beginning. Moving on, in the aftermath of the World War II, public display of swastika is banned. It remains banned. It became illegal. It is still a potent symbol for far right and white supremacist groups. And then US, it is permitted, although we are seeing that usage of this sign has become very often in the form of graffitis in order to show that yes, white supremacists are basically going to rule the world one day or the other, and of course other groups, other ethnic groups have no place in the USA. In 2007, when German politicians attempted to introduce a swastika ban across the European Union, the Hindu organizations were against it, because for Indians, for us, it is having a different signature, a different sign. We have our swastika, our own belief system. And if that was, of course, it is still being confused with swastika, the Harkin cruise, then that is a problem of the education system that needs to be resolved. It's still, Diwali is coming. The Hindus are going to draw swastikas in their homes. For us, it is the auspicious sign. For Buddhists, it's something different. For Jains, it is something different. So a ban would, of course, hurt the religious sentiments of the people, and hence it couldn't go through. I hope you understood the meaning of it. I hope you understood how and why it was chosen. Thank you so much for watching. Stay updated.